Hi, this is Helena Summer, your love, dating, and relationship coach. Today we are talking about divorce and new love, especially for women. So I have a client who I was working with in the past, help her get through divorce, and I told her, be prepared for at least 6 more months of hell. And she called me yesterday and she said, you were wrong. You said I will have 6 months of hell. Well, it was very hellish for 4 months. And then I met him. Ta-da! Right? Him. And we are having so much fun and I feel sexy. And he has given me more in these few months that we've been together than my husband in 20 plus years. So now, my dear ladies and gentlemen, she said to share that to inspire other women, and I did. And then my friend Jim Carrey, no, my friend Dennis Carrey, my friend Dennis Carrey, who also wrote a book about relationship called Misled, he pointed out something. He said, what about the questions of sufficient or numbers of sufficient time after divorce for self-discovery and a distinct possibility that this woman is infatuated, not established in a healthy long-term relationship. She commented how he made her feel, not on his character, right? And then some other people join in a conversation saying that how is that possible? I was married for a year and a half, and I was it's been a year and a half after my 10-year divorce, and I never had a first date. This is difficult for me. I'm not feeling inspired by this. So I actually was waiting for somebody to ask similar question because this is such an important topic. So this is how it happens. If a woman marries very young, before she has her real self of identity, ability to say yes, to say no, ability to know who she is, and then relationships start changing. Husbands start taking her for granted, not taking care of kids, and the kids start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then if the affair happens, if she ends up doing everything and begging him and pleading to nag, to, change the light bulb or something, and there is no partnership, woman's heart breaks and grieves the loss of relationship while she is still in a relationship. There is that feeling of, my girlfriends told me I should buy lingerie. Let's see, maybe that will work. It doesn't work. I read in an Oprah magazine that I should, do this and that for him, so I do. It doesn't work. So woman starts losing her faith in herself as a quality woman. I cannot do nothing to keep my husband at home. And this is mostly when the cheating and terrible things are happening to in a relationship. So as the woman grieves the loss of a relationship while she's still in one, when divorce happens, or sometimes often when the separation happens, when her body is not constantly touching and smelling him, she starts feeling some kind of freedom. And often, if you think about women that who are divorced, or maybe you, there is often a moment you are still married, but you are done. You are done. I know my mother. She would wait for my husband, for her husband, for my dad to come home. And then we knew he was, fooling around with other women, and he would never come home, and she would stay up and wait for him, and wait every night, and wait and wait. And then one day, she went to sleep. She was done. She was clean. She was free. There was no more. She grieved through. And in a longer marriages, by the way, my client's marriage was not 20 years, it was even more than that, but I put 20 to hide their identity and not exactly share the number of years. So the longer the marriage, the more the older kids get, and the more perspective I have on me, and seeing that I have no value in this man, we don't have joy, we don't have laughter, we don't have connection, I don't feel protected, I don't feel safe, I don't feel cherished, I don't feel beautiful, I don't feel sexy. She is getting grieving. Done. Overnight, often. Just done. There is nothing that can take her back. So that's what happened. And if woman is younger, when we are young, because of estrogen, we get our oxytocin bonding increases incredibly. So we are attached, physically attached, even to men we know it's not good for us. I work with a client who was in a relationship with a man who had 5 children with 5 different women, in touch with all of them partially, and were being with her partially, sharing her with other. And she really believed he only loves me. He never took her out on a date, just, come to her house for a little quickie, bye, right? And she was so bonded. She was maybe 22 or something, and she needed that man in her life because it's a drug. Oxytocin bonding is very intense. So when a woman is young like that, when she gets attached to a man, the only 2 ways to get over the previous is either to wait for this oxytocin bonding to release, and it takes normally as long as it takes to grieve over dead body. 2 years, more, sometimes less, depends of the length of relationship, of the intensity of everything. But it can be cut much faster if another man steals you. So in the case of my client, what happened is she was done. And this man showed up at the right time. And yes, the age difference is huge. He's much younger. And they both know this is a fun thing, as we call it, rebound. They are enjoying themselves together. So to Dennis, for you, yes, you talk about long-term relationship. Sometimes we don't want to have a long-term relationship. Sometimes we want to build something together, as you say, or we want to enjoy something together. There is no right or wrong. We do relationships the way we need to do them at the stage of our emotional, physical, situational development and circumstances. There is no right or wrong, especially if we, not especially, if, pardon, not especially, if we clearly state, hey, my name is such and such, I'm looking only for hookups and fun time. I'm moving to, to Africa next year. I don't want to get bonded. I don't want to have children, nothing, just to have some fun before I go. Deal? Deal. Shake hands, right? Kissy, kissy. That's the deal. So, ladies, there was a lady who commented that she feels bad about it. My dear, it's not the end of the world for you either. If you had to grieve the loss of relationship after the divorce, it's okay. It's totally okay. I grieved my divorce so bad after I never had one problem while we were married. And even after the divorce, we were still married. We never left each other. We just divorced on paper because we loved each other so much and wanted to be with each other. But when that was really over, when my body could not smell him, be hugged by him, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was a basket case for 3 years, 2.5 years at least. I could not, there was no day that I would not think of him from the morning until I fall asleep for at least 2 years. So that's that young woman's oxytocin bonding. Very, very intense. And there is so much about that. So let me know what you think about this, how you feel about it. And check my new website, New Look. I have a free video series, 5 videos for you that you can learn from flirting, from yin and yang attraction and chemical compositions to who you are. Find your quiz, how you date, things like that I talk about in this video, similar stuff. So check it out and let me know what you think. Live delicious and love delicious.